JB Cycles with update on June the 4th. My 4-week cycle was in the topping phase last week and now it's bearish the coming week. However, we squeezed up on Friday and found some momentum, so do we get continuation or not? Here I have zoomed in on my 4-week cycle, and as you see, we had this pop-up at where my cycle had a reaction up. So it's not very bearish, meaning we are not seeing a left translation that the market turns down early. We are stretching it, leaving us less and less time for downside. So it doesn't look like a bearish setup. However, if you look back, sometimes we have some irregular patterns, or call it inversions. Here we see we had the bullish phase. In the next cycle we had just a small pop and then we continued down. So this was bearish action. It was bearish left translated. This cycle was bullish right translated. You know, something bearish may happen, but this is not a typical bearish setup. Again, composite of many cycles, or these three. You know, it was going steep down. However, market didn't follow that, and that's a bullish sign. When the cycles don't have a bearish effect, you know, market goes on, it stretches, and then perhaps you get a small reaction at the cycle or composite low, and then we continue onwards. So as we see, we haven't seen any reaction down so far, so it looks more and more like maybe just a small dip in June and then the breakout rally. And if we look at here, my 7-year cycle, we see there's still some bearishness left in my 7-year cycle, but time is running out. My 40 and 20-week cycle is bearish into around August, but you know, when we look at the 40-week offset, we are now breaking out of it. So you know, all clear, it's a new bull market. So we may see more upside, and then we have a reaction down around August, September, but that's just a higher low. We're in uptrend, it's a bull market. It looks more and more like that. There's nothing here that suggests any bearish to me. The composite of my 3 shorter cycles. First, the dominant one seems to be the quarterly cycle, but again, not bearish action. It's little time for downside in this cycle, so setting up for some kind of reaction down and then the breakout rally. And the composite of my 3 cycles, you know, it's not going very steep down, but it's going down into early July and then perhaps the breakout rally. But it still may fail, and we can have some kind of a washout or capitulation into September, October. Still possible, but less and less likely. Looking at my daily data and my wavelets, it does look more and more like a daily sell setup. However, when I look at momentum, you know, we are finding momentum here. It's often you would expect some kind of a topping phase here before a reaction down. So unless it's a blow-off top and we quickly react down, it looks like we need some time to make a topping formation. Again, not looking bearish. So hourly data is the Dow Jones. So we had a breakout. So in the hourly data, it does look like some kind of a selling setup, but I don't like, you know, when you get this reaction up, you expect an A B down and a C, and then you have a trend line you can break, and then you can have a breakdown and something bearish. When you get this pop up like that, well, it could be a blow off or a fake and we just crash down again, but odds favor we need to maybe see some A, B, C going up here, and that doesn't fit well with the 4-week cycle being bearish. But you know, these technical patterns and these breakouts, they can override the cycle, especially when the market is bullish or we're in a bull market. Cycles don't have the same effect. That means the bearish part of it does not have the same effect in the bull market. So again, doesn't look very bearish. Some kind of selling setup here, but yeah, I don't like it. Going on, seasonal variation, you know, it's topping right now, early June, and going down into October. But yeah, we don't always do that. Sometimes we have this pattern, and the average over a long period shows this pattern. But some kind of reaction down into early July possible, and then the breakout rally. But still possible. It fails. Maybe we make a double top in August, and then we have the capitulation down. Still possible, not very likely. So in the end, here's my 3.5-year cycle over a long period, and it looks like more and more that we now, as we see in my 3.5-year cycle, we are in the bullish phase now, and it lasts into November 24. So perhaps we should focus on this bull market for the next 18 months or so. But again, you know, some things may happen. So if you look back at the bear market in the year 2002-3, we see we had a very late low, and at the point where we are right now, that's where we had a breakdown. In the 80s, we also had a cycle that was very out of sync with the cycle. The market was out of sync. We see that we topped at the cycle low, and we had a very late market low. And also here in the 50s, also almost inverted. It topped out at the cycle low, and we had a very late low. So you know, these cycles, they do some tricks now and then, and you can't trust them entirely. But the majority of cycles do, or they are in sync with the market. So odds do favor we should focus on the upside, but as always, you have to be prepared that you can have some irregular patterns. So we are at some averages here. So you see this orange average. We do have to see. That's about the August highs from last year. We do have to see a breakout over that level. That means higher than 4,300 or thereabout. So that's still a resistance level. We should find resistance there now in June and have some kind of reaction down. Then we may have the breakout rally in August, July, August. This is, yeah, you know, the overall impression, what I said during this video, again and again, you know, time is running out for the bears. It doesn't look bearish. Odds favor upside bull market, but I wouldn't jump on it right now. There are some signals, you know, saying we should soon have some downside. Thing is, in a bull market, the downside comes a lot later than you expect, and you wait and it never comes, and then you miss some upside. So yeah, market may go higher the coming week or weeks, but there should be some kind of reaction down, and we have to overcome this, I would say, last obstacle before we finally see that it's a new bull market. Well, already there are signals saying it's a new bull market. So But if we do break out above 4,300 the coming week, yeah, that's another confirmation.